Hey there, this is Red. It's time for another episode of Red Plays. So, I think I've decided on the Marvel Champions front, we're going after Quicksilver. So, I did my 3 plays with Wasp against Rhino. I think we're going to turn around and do that with Quicksilver also. Now, I haven't set my board up here because I kind of wanted to show how things have progressed in my collection. So, initially, I started off with all of my stuff in the Standard Champions box. Then I started to run out of space. And I went over to this box here is what I started using. So this is like a groomsman's box. And then I 3D printed off a bunch of little plastic inserts. Ooh, that's pretty loud. A bunch of little plastic inserts to go in there. And I could fit my cards in 3 of these. And then I had another one that was a little bit too thin. So I could put my tokens and my dials and that kind of thing in there. All right, and I actually I had to use this box plus Rise of Red Skull to store all of my stuff because I was running out of room. And then I started running out of room in those, so with my additional custom content that I've printed off, I didn't have room through just the main box and Rise of Red Skull. My understanding is that you can still get everything just inside of those 2 boxes right now if you just have the basic content. And if it's sleeved, I think it will all still fit. Where I've gone to at this point, so I went pretty basic at this point, and I've gotten a couple of big boxes here. So just 2-row boxes. I printed off these from Board Game Geek and labeled them. And then I've got some standard just plastic dividers to break things up. I've also made these with my 3D printer. I've made little token holdery things. So they've got like a little lid that slides off. And I put my tokens on the inside there. So like these are my Team Covenant tokens, right? The reason I made these was I was looking for little containers that were about the size of cards. So I've made these. Let's grab a card out of here. There's a Red Skull card, right? They're about the width of a card. That way I can put them in my box and they fit just like cards do. So really, this is my custom content. I've got my Red Skull stuff here, and my Kang stuff is in here. I've got my dials, which I don't use, right? And then sometimes like my oversized cards I'll put in there. But really, the bulk of my cards are in another one of those boxes. So let's get ready to play Quicksilver here. Now, let's see here. Let me show you real quick. I've got all of my cards over here. My aspect cards are on the left-hand side, and I've got my heroes, and we go into some of the bad guys over on the right-hand side, all right? All right, so Quicksilver I should still have right here in the pre-constructed deck. And as you've seen, the way I sleeve my cards are put clear sleeves on the main deck, and then on my obligation cards and my nemesis cards, we go with the black backs, right? That way they can all mix together. And then we're going to go against Rhino, so we need to find Rhino, and he is right here. And when I pull Rhino out of there, there's a couple of things I need to look at. I'm going to play with my standard Rhino cards here, and then our break-in. Now the thing I need to look for is I have printed off some alternate art Rhinos. I want to check and see if there's newer versions of those. I think there's newer versions than the ones I printed out that have changed the text a little bit, because that's the one thing that's holding me back from using these alternate art Rhinos is the text isn't quite like I would like it to be. But these are beautiful cards. I just like to read them a little bit better from time to time. When I actually do read the cards, it's nice to have them be a little bit more readable. So I've also got my, and you see these in my notes underneath the videos. I have my alternate art standard and expert cards in here. That way I can just keep them in there all the time and it's good to go. All right, so let's throw these cards back in my Rhino spot, and we're gonna grab our bomb scare stuff out of here. There we go, we got some bomb scare stuff. We'll throw that in there. Let's get this box out of the way. All right, box out of the way. So we've got, this is the pre-constructed Quicksilver deck. So nothing all that surprising there. I should make sure we have the right number of cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. All right. And I even counted it right the first time, I think. So that's good. We're going to look at our bomb scare cards. We need to kick. We're going to start standard just because let's start easy because that's how I am, easy. And we're going to grab the expert cards out of here. We need to take those out because I've got them mixed in by default. At least I think I do. Yeah, so there's my master plan. And where's the other two? There we go. There's under fire and exhaustion. So we're going to take those. We're going to get those out of here. Going. We've got our Rhino. We're going to need Rhino 1, Rhino 2. We don't need Rhino 3. Kick him out of here. Let's see here. We need our obligation. Let's set avalanche stuff off to the side because we don't need him yet. We'll put him way up there in the corner. Need for speed is going to go in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick shuffle. Just got to mix it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do the whole spread it out thing. Normally I do all this stuff off camera. You guys don't see it, but just kind of wanted to show you what's my process look like normally. Where's my stuff come from? All right, I'm going to kick it around. Almost done here. So then I do a little shuffle like that. Stack it all up. And do a couple of little shuffles here. All right. Now I need to get my boards out. So next thing that's going to be up is I'm going to drop this in my little, I've got these little, these are other things I 3D printed, right? They're magnetic, they pop apart, right? Haven't made those en masse enough to be able to like potentially sell them yet in my shop, but may do that in the future. We'll see how things go. I think I would like to redesign them a little bit before I would potentially sell them. One of the things that's nice about them is they work pretty good. It doesn't take a whole lot of 3D printing. The problem is if a card is in there, one of the things is they can slip through like that, and I'm not exactly a huge fan of that. It's not a big deal most of the time because it's sitting on the table like that, and the advantage of it when it's sitting on the table is if it's the last card in the bottom here, you can kind of push on it and it raises up the side so you can grab it. So it's got some advantages, but I think it's not as mechanically sound as I would like it to be. Okay, so we've done a lot of shuffling there. Let's move those off to the side. We've got Quicksilver out here. We've got our Quicksilver deck, and as you saw, it was not shuffled very well, so we'll flick it around a couple of times, and then we will kick cards out. Now, things I've seen with Quicksilver so far are he's kind of a build deck, and our base aspect is protection. So these are a few things that I don't normally dig. So I was pretty actually happy with the Iron Man Technova deck. I did like that deck a lot. And I have a lot of fun playing it. But my general thing is I'm more of an aggression player that tends to go right after things. So the whole build for later, do protection stuff is going to be a real test for me. So we'll see how that works out here with Quicksilver. Which also means you guys will probably be in the comments like, no, you played that wrong. Why did you do it that way? But, you know, it's a learning experience. So it's the best thing about playing this the first time. And, well, kind of doing it on camera is you can see the mistakes that I make and you can point them out for other people. All right, there we go. So there's Quicksilver. Got there. Now I'm going to grab my boards. So I have a set of boards that I've also 3D printed, right? These are my old token trays. Inspired by the Team Covenant stuff and what is that? The Buy the Same Token stuff. So I have one that's here that's that I made that's super big. And the reason I've got the super big one is right when I play like Wasp or somebody like that, I want to have the space to do it. But since we're playing a normal sized hero, we don't need the massive board. All right, so we're going to kick the massive board out of the way. We're going to get our normal sized board and throw it out there. And we'll put it about right there. And we'll put Quicksilver on there. Or actually Pietro at this point. All right, next up I've got a little bit bigger board I use for the villain just because that makes it more dramatic, right? So we're going to put Rhino on that board. And we're going to put, and I've got a bunch of these that I've made, and I'm going to put, usually I only use one, except for like when I get Wrecking Crew out, then I'll use a lot more. All right, then get them out there. Now, here's the fun part is what has happened is I have played other games since I last played this one, so now I have to find a camera zoom that gets everything about where I want it to, because I don't use the automatic zoom. The reason I don't use the automatic zoom is that I don't want it refocusing in the middle of my play. So I have to find something that's pretty good for everything. And that looks about right. So we'll go with that. I think that's good. All right. So at this point, I'm close to ready to play. I need one more thing. I need my tokens. All right. So I've got two of my little boxes here. These actually, it's tough to see, but they've got my crazy Jackalope games there in the top of them. So I've got my tokens from Team Covenant. I'm using some Keyforge tokens for my actions, and then my buy the same token ones. What I do is I've got a little bit of space off camera. Oop, I just dump them out. All right. And that goes away. And then I'm going to grab my my status cards and tuck them back here a little bit off camera. All right. So there's the magic of setup. You know a little bit what's behind the scenes now. Ooh, impressive. All right. So let's take a look at what else we need to do here. We need to figure out Pietro's hit points are 9. So we're going to use some markers so we can keep track of that. We're going to say 5, 2, 2. We're at 9. And I use that just so I know what my max is. Really, not having played with a lot of downtime recently or endurances or heroes that actually boost their hit points a lot, that hasn't been a big deal. But when you're playing with somebody like Iron Man, it really helps to keep track of what their max is for me, because I mark the damage that they've taken over here. You could, like I think with the dials, it works a lot better just to dial up their health as you add components and stuff. But it's easy for me to lose track of, oh, okay, well, did I actually add that into my max health or not when I put those rocket boots out? I can't remember. Did I get that plus hit point? This helps me make sure that I keep track of that. So I keep my damage and my max life separate. All right, let's take a look at Rhino. Rhino starts with 14, which I should just totally know by heart now because I've played against him so much. But I have to look every time. All right, so there we go. Rhino's got 14. There's no starting thing with Rhino. He's just coming out there, and then we have the break-in, which doesn't start with any on it. So I think we're ready to go at this point. So let's play. All right. All right, so our starting hand for Quicksilver is hand size 6. So we're gonna grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's see what we got here. All sorts of new cards, so gonna make this take a little bit longer. All right, we have maximum velocity, which is 1 for phase. You get 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense till the end of the round. So that's going to stick around through both. We've got sidestep, which says when you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3. If I paid for it using an energy resource, deal 1 to the enemy. That's a pretty awesome card. Multiple man, which I'm kind of wondering about, but we'll see here. So multiple man, after multiple man enters play, search your deck and hand for a copy of multiple man and put it into play. All right, so there's 3 multiple men in the deck, or multiple men. There's 3. The card is multiple man, so would it be multiple men or 3 multiple man? I don't know. Anyway, there's 3 of them total in the deck, so if I play this one, I get to go grab the other 2 and bring them into play, which is pretty cool. We have Speed Cyclone, which stuns X enemies. Another maximum velocity, and then Adrenaline Rush, which is an upgrade that goes out. And says, as a hero action, I discard that, and I get +1 attack until the end of phase, which I kind of like because it's not the next time I attack. I have to actually use a hero action to activate it, so I actually have to use it in order for that to happen. Okay, now, do I want to mulligan any of these? So, I think, that's kind of tough. So I would kind of like to get Adrenaline Rush out there. I don't have, what I'm really looking for is there's like Serval Industries is in there, which helps me get cards back. I've got some uh, upgrades for Quicksilver. I don't see any of that out there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of this. We'll hold on to multiple man in case I don't get anything I like, because then maybe I'll dig out some multiple men. All right, so we're going to go back up the hand size of 6. So 1, there's 4, 5, 6. All right, now still didn't get any of the upgrades that I want. I did get Warlock, who's an ally, and he costs 3, and then he heals with a mental resource. That's kind of nice. I got Civic Duty, which is kind of like that Adrenaline Rush, but the thwart version of it. And there's a bunch of these in Quicksilver's deck, which is always be running, which is Ready Quicksilver. Pretty cool. And we have a Never Back Down, which is an event. When you defend against an attack, you get +2 defense for this attack. If I take no damage, stun the enemy. And then we have Nerves of Steel, which is exhaust Nerves of Steel, generate an energy resource for a defense event. So that looks like something I want to get out there. All right, so I have one of the permanents that I want to get out there, but there's a lot of this other stuff I'm not exactly excited about right now. So we've got, take a look at Quicksilver's abilities. So action, discard 2 cards from your hand, draw 2 cards. 3, if Wanda Maximoff is in play, I can do that once per round. So if we look at that, if I have my Scarlet Witch ally, she has both Scarlet Witch and Wanda Maximoff on there, so I could do 3 cards. If I was playing with somebody that was playing Scarlet Witch, they would have to be in the alter ego state in order for that to kick in, which is kind of a bummer. It would be nice if you could be in either form there, but that's the way it is. All right, so as Quicksilver, you've got super speed. After you use one of Quicksilver's basic powers, ready him, which is fairly awesome. So that means I can attack and then be ready and then defend, and then I get to ready after. So there's lots of coolness going on there. All right. So we're gonna go back to Pietro's thing there, which is discard 2 cards from my hand, then draw 2 cards. So unfortunately, I don't get to draw first. So I think I'm gonna discard Warlock and Civic Duty. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Let's see what we come up with. We have there's Serval Industries and Order and Chaos. So Serval Industries is one of the cards I was looking for. So alter ego action, exhaust Serval Industries, shuffle 2 Quicksilver cards from your discard pile into your deck. That I like. Order and Chaos is not going to do me a whole lot of good. I do like this card. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effect, then deal 2 damage to the villain, which is awesome, but you have to have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch out there, which is pretty rough at this point. All right, so now what are we going to do? So I think we want to get Nerves of Steel out there, and we want to get Serval Industries out there. So I think we're going to use our Always Be Running and Multiple Man to get Nerves of Steel out. All right. And then we're going to use Order and Chaos to get Serval Industries out there. I can go ahead and I will make use of Serval Industries right away, which is exhaust Serval Industries, shuffle 2 Quicksilver cards from your discard pile into your deck. So now I can go back here and I can say, hey, we're going to put that Always Be Running back in there. And I think we're going to put that Speed Cyclone back in there because stunning Rhino is a beautiful thing. So let's put those back in there. We're going to shuffle this up. All right, now we're going to go over to Quicksilver side. All right. So right now, there's not a whole lot for me to do other than attack, which I only attack for 1. He's got not great stats right off the bat. So we're going to attack for 1, but then we get to use his power to remove, to ready him, and then we'll attack again. So we're going to attack for 2. Not huge, but it's something. then we're going to be done. So as we're done, we're going to remove our counters. We're going to hold on to our never back down, and we've got a hand size of 5. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Armored Vest is good for Quicksilver because it gives him +1 defense. Ooh, so yeah, also I got one of my bonus cards there, which is Hyper Perception, which gives me +1 thwart. And then we should know what Armored Vest does, +1 defense. All right. There's our 5 card. Okay, we're ready to go. So what's going to happen is Rhino is going to see Quicksilver out there and come to attack. Now I might as well exhaust with Quicksilver to defend. When I do that, I get to ready him because I get to do that once per phase. So I'm only defending for 1, but we'll see how this works out. Actually, let's go ahead and we're going to exhaust our Nerves of Steel, which says generate an energy resource for a defense event, and we're going to play Never Back Down. So when you defend against an attack, you get +2 defense for this attack. If you take no damage from the attack, stun the attacking enemy. So we're defending for 3 right now. So let's see what Rhino attacks for. So he's attacking, base is 2. He's going to boost up 2. Oh, so he's going to attack for 4. But I defend 3 of that, so I take 1. I don't get the stun, but I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Next, we got an encounter card. Counter card is Crowd Control. It's going to come in with 2 on it. Panicked civilians crowd the area. It is difficult to confront Rhino without putting them at risk. Get the people to safety. All right. So that's going to have 2 on it. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put 1 threat on the main scheme. So I'll go back and do that. There we go. All right, that is the end of Rhino's turn. We're over to the hero turn. So what are we going to do? So I think Armored Vest is priority right now. Hyper Perception would be nice. I think we hold on to that, actually. So that means I can only play 1 card, really, this turn. All right. The Hyper Perception would be nice to get out there because it would allow me to clean up some of the other things going on. And yeah, let's do, is it the Armored Vest or is it the Hyper Perception? That is a tough choice there, which to go after. So one of the things is if I use my Always Be Running, I can, oh, that's Alter Ego. So I can't do that if I'm Quicksilver. But that would allow me to clean some things up, which would be nice. But the Armored Vest defense against Rhino, I think, is just too big. So we're going to do our civic duty to put Armored Vest out there. Oop, that should be out of here. And then I think we're going to hold on to Always Be Running in Hyper Perception. All right. So as Quicksilver, what we're going to do is our first action is we're going to thwart for 2 because we have, oh no, we didn't put Hyper Perception out there. We will thwart for 1. And then we're going to ready. And we're going to thwart for 1 again and get rid of the crowd control. All right. It's going to be the end of our turn. We're going to ready up. We're going to draw back up to our hand size of 5. 4, 5. Oh, got another Never Back Down. All right, that might work this turn because we've got the boost from the Armored Vest. All right. Villain's turn. We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme and remember to do it this turn. This time around. Okay. Next up, Rhino's going to come to attack Quicksilver. Quicksilver is going to defend, and then he gets to use this thing to ready up. So he's going to defend. We're going to use our Nerves of Steel to generate an energy resource to play Never Back Down again. We're going to do another Never Back Down. So this time we're at 4 defense. All right. So we're going to draw his boost. He's attacking for 2. He's going to boost 1. All right. So he's going to attack for 3. I'm going to be enough that he does no damage to me, which means he is stunned. All right. This goes away. Then we have our encounter card. See, that worked out the way that it was supposed to work out. All right, encounter card is Gang Up. The villain and each minion engaged attacks you. All right, so he's going to attack, but he doesn't because he's stunned. There we go. Yeah, it worked out. All right, that is the end of the villain's turn. We're back over to the hero side. So hero side, we're back to that same problem where we're back down to 4 cards and we have 2 cards. Well, really, I think hyper perception is the one that we want to get out there. So let's go ahead and get that out there. We're going to spend these 2 to get hyper perception out there. We're starting to build a Quicksilver. All right. Now what I think I'm going to do is we're going to get ready for a rest turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to thwart with Quicksilver because we have hyper perception out there. We take 2 off of the break-in. Get to untap that. Now the question is, could flip? I've only got 1 damage. I think we'll go ahead and we'll attack for 1. Take 1 off of Rhino, knock him down to 11. All right, they're going to be done. We're going to unexhaust all of our stuff. We're going to draw it back up to 5. I think I can take a round of hit and be okay. So let's see how we do here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we have that's new here? Oh, look at that. Accelerated reflex, +1 defense. I want to get that out there for sure. Then we've got our double time, which is choose 2, deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I can do 2 of those, and I can do 1 of them twice. So the great thing is there's no attack there, and there's no thwart there, so it gets around stun and confusion. That's a really nice card. All right, we're going over to the villain's turn. So first thing for the villain, I'm going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. I'm going to find a token that is threat, put it there. All right. Rhino is going to look to attack Quicksilver. Quicksilver is going to defend. He would exhaust to defend, but then he gets to unexhaust once per round. So he's got 1 defense, 2 defense right now. All right, so we're defending for 2. Rhino's base attack is 2, and he attacks for 1 more. So we take 1. We're up to 2. A lot of maths going on here. All right, a lot of basic addition. Now we're going to draw a counter card. Counter card is, Need for Speed. So I can flip and then exhaust to remove Need for Speed from the game, or exhaust your identity. You cannot ready. Oh no, we're going to flip. We're definitely doing the flip and exhaust. Flip and exhaust. And we make Need for Speed out of the game. All right. Cha-ching. Okay, so that means I can't double act this round, which is annoying, but it's okay. We're all right with that. Okay. Oh, but I could always be running and ready myself up, so that could work. All right, so I can use Petro's power to discard 2 cards to draw 2 cards, but I don't think there's anything I want to discard at this point in time. I don't want to discard 2 cards because then I would have to get rid of something that I want to hold on to. Well, if I play Accelerated Reflexes, I'm going to have to spend these 2 cards to do that. No, I think I don't want to do that. I'm afraid I'm going to put myself in a bind and then maybe I get one of the cards that I do want to play. All right, what I can do is I can use my Serval Industries to, actually, hold on. Let's do it this way. Let's do double time and adrenaline rush. No. Oh, man. See, if I spend my double time, then I can use my Serval Industries to put it back in. But I think we'll hold on to it. we're going to do Serval Industries. And we're going to look for a couple of Quicksilver cards to put back in there. Ooh, I'm kind of low on Quicksilver cards. We have 2 maximum velocities. We'll put those back in there. All right, maximum velocity, maximum velocity. Oop, oop. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and flip on over to Quicksilver. All right. So we are still exhausted, but we're Quicksilver and exhausted. We can do 2, but accelerated reflexes out there. So accelerated reflexes is going to give us +1 defense. All right, we're at +3 defense. How crazy is that? Or sorry, we're at 3 defense total. How crazy is that? All right, then I think what we might as well do is let's go ahead and play or use Adrenaline Rush to play Always Be Running, which says Ready Quicksilver. All right, so I'm going to bring Quicksilver online. Let's do, right now we're only attacking for 1, but we're thwarting for 2. So I think in order, I think Quicksilver's building as this game goes on. So I think we're going to use our first action to thwart, get rid of that. And then we're going to ready up. And then we'll go ahead and attack for 1 and knock Rhino down just a little bit. All right. It's going to be the end of our turn. We're going to ready everything up and we're going to draw back up to a hand size of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Ooh, there's an interesting card. We haven't seen this one yet. Friction Resistance. So after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. So I can exhaust Friction Resistance to generate a physical resource. Nice. Okay. It is the villain's turn. So what are we doing villain-wise? We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. Rhino is going to look to attack Quicksilver. Quicksilver is going to defend. He's going to exhaust to defend. Then he's going to ready himself. So he is defending for 1, 2, 3. Rhino's attacking for 2. He's going to get a boost that is none. So I'm going to take 0 damage. I think this is how you play Quicksilver. I think I'm getting it. And the protection thing. Okay. Next up is Rhino's going to get an encounter card, and we get Charge. Ooh, he's looking to do a lot of damage. All right, end of the villain's turn. We're over to the hero's turn. Oh, we have that Friction Resistance out there. That's looking pretty nice. I could have done Never Back Down against Rhino, but I wanted to save that because I wanted to use it for a resource is what I was thinking. I thought I had that as a thought somewhere along the line there. All right, so let's spend 3 and we'll bring Friction Resistance into play. Wow, we're building up lots of stuff here. All right, so I can, after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. I can use it to generate a physical resource. All right. What can happen is I can potentially double time this round also. So right now we're not doing a whole lot of damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to thwart for 1. Or sorry, we're going to thwart for 2 because we have the hyper perception out there, which is going to take the break in. That's going to be our first action. Then we ready up. I think we're going to go ahead and attack, which will knock him down to 9. Not doing lots of a damage attack each attack right now, but we're doing a little. Oh wait, I played that wrong. Okay, let me take that one back. I'm going to put him back up to 10. All right, put him back up to 10. Because I'm not doing it right. All right, so here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my Friction Resistance, which I can exhaust to generate a physical. I'm going to use my Never Back Down to make 2 physical to do double time. All right, double time, I'm going to do 2 damage twice. So we're going to do 4 damage to Rhino. There we go. I think I'm doing it in the right order. Now I'm going to use my final attack to attack with Quicksilver, although it doesn't matter a whole lot. Probably should have used, okay, anyway. My final attack, I will attack for 1. It's going to knock him down to 5. This would ready up. It's not going to matter because it's the end of my turn, and all this stuff is going to unexhaust. All right. Now, do I stay Quicksilver or do I go? I think we're going to go over to Pietro's side. And try to take a scheme round. Hopefully he doesn't get an advance. I'm trying to build for a decent attack round. Oh, no. We'll stay one more round Quicksilver. Okay. We'll stay Quicksilver. I'm going to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason I'm doing that is because I've unexhausted some stuff, and I might as well we'll stay Quicksilver till the end. All right. Ooh, interesting things here. We have multiple man. Costs 4, but then I can bring other multiple men that are in my hand or in my deck out. And I have another multiple man right there. So we got 2 multiple man. We have Scarlet Witch. When you use one of Scarlet Witch's basic powers, discard the top card of the encounter deck for each boost icon. Discarded this way, Scarlet Witch gets +1 to that power for this use. All right. She would also enable my stuff if I go over to Alter Ego. I can discard 2 and draw 3, which would be really nice. Then I want to check real fast. I've got an Always Be Running in there, a double time, and my Speed Cyclone. Okay. All right. So that's the end of Quicksilver's turn. Rhino's going to come at us, and he's going to come at us pretty rough here. So we're going to defend. So we're going to defend, but then first off, I should put the threat in the main scheme. Okay, then Rhino's going to see Quicksilver. He's going to come attack. He's attacking for 5. So we're going to go ahead and defend. When we defend for 1, 2, 3. So we're defending for 3. He's attacking for 5. He gets a boost of none. So that means that we take 2. All right. And the charge goes away. Let's make sure. So when Rhino attacks, gains overkill, which doesn't matter. At the end of the stack, discard charge. All right. So we did 5. We defended for 3. We took a grand total of 2. All right. Then we need an encounter card. Counter card is False Alarm. When revealed, you are confused. If you're already confused, this card gains Surge. All right. So we're going to get confused. We are confused. Okay, now we're back over to the hero's turn. Ooh, there's craziness going on at this point in time. All right, so I can exhaust this and I get a physical resource. In order to pay for Scarlet Witch, I need to spend 2 other cards. All right, let's figure out how we're going to do this. Okay, so we're going to use our friction resistance. That's going to give us 1 physical. I think we're going to use both of our multiple men. And that gives us our 5 to bring, our 3 to bring Scarlet Witch into play. All right. I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and use Scarlet Witch to attack. When you use one of Scarlet Witch's basic powers, discard the top card of the encounter deck for each boost icon. Scarlet Witch gets +1 to the power for this use. Okay. So she's going to go ahead and attack. She's attacking for 1. We're going to take the top card of the encounter deck, see how many boost icons. None. But it was an advance. Good card to get rid of. All right. So she's going to do 1 to Rhino. So he's down to 4. All right. She takes 1 consequential damage. Okay. Now, this is going to be the fun part. how are we going to do this? So we're going to exhaust Quicksilver to thwart. Oh, so that's interesting. So what happens when I'm... Well, let's do it this way first. We'll exhaust Quicksilver to attack. And I'll attack Rhino for 1. All right. Then as part of his power, he gets to unexhaust. Right. And then we're going to exhaust Quicksilver to thwart, which will get rid of my confused. All right. This has, after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. So when after I attacked, that gets readied. All right. I don't have a big buildup for attack yet is my problem. I want to be able to do more attack, but I can't quite yet. So I'm wondering if I should hold on to my always be running, or I could use it to take a rest round so I could ready myself and take a nap for a round. Maybe that's what I should do. Because then I can use my Serval Industries to put it back in. I think that makes sense. All right, so we're going to use our friction resistance, generate a physical, and we're going to play Always Be Running, which is hero action, ready Quicksilver. We're going to ready Quicksilver up. Now I can't use his re-ready twice in a round. I only get to use it once, limit once per phase, so I can't re-ready him using my power. All right, so next up, we're going to do I want to thwart? No, we'll be okay, I think. We're going to go to Pietro. We're going to recover for 3. So that's going to bring us up to 1. We're going to use our Serval Industries to put 2 Quicksilver cards back into the deck. There's a Quicksilver card. And let's see here. Do I put a double time back in there or another Always Be Run? We'll put 2 Always Be Runnings back in there. All right. It's a tough decision. All right. Always Be Running back in. Always Be Running back in. All right. All right. At that point, we're going to be done. Actually, yeah, we'll be done. Get rid of all of this. Draw back up to a hand size of 6. Whoa. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there we go. So we got reinforced sinew. That's my +1 attack. Finally, that'd be a nice one to get out there. We have maximum velocity, gives us +2 thwart attack and defense. Then we've got a sidestep, which says when you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3. If I paid for it using an energy resource, deal 1 damage to the enemy, which works well with the nerves of steel. But I'm not defense, or I'm not hero side at this point. All right, so villain's turn. We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. It's going to go up to 2. Rhino is scheming for 1. He's going to get a boost of none. All right, that's what we like to see. So he's going to get 1. Now, let's not draw in advance. All right, we're going to draw our encounter card. We get charge. All right, he's getting ready for a big attack. We're okay with that. That we can handle. Okay. That is the end of the villain's turn. We're over to the hero turn, and we get to do all sorts of fun things. All right. Do I want to use my Serval Industries up front? I've got a double time there and a speed cyclone. I think those would be good to get back into the deck. Do I want to spend? So the most I can use is 1 maximum velocity per turn. So I think what I'm going to do is we will... So I don't have to, so I can use this resource at any point. So we're going to use our friction resistance and a maximum velocity to play reinforced sinew, which is going to give us +1 attack. All right, then I'm going to use my Serval Industries to put 2 cards back into the deck. Let's put the double time and the maximum velocity back in there. Yeah. All right. Now, because we have Wanda in play, I can use Pietro's action to discard 2 cards and draw 3 cards. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to discard Nerves of Steel and Sidestep. Really thinking maybe I should hold on to the Sidestep because we have that charge coming. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So I would spend 2 to do the double time. Maybe hold on to the maximum velocity. Prepare to use the Sidestep. I think we'll not do that right now. All right. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to flip on over to Quicksilver. All right. Okay. Now, what are we concerned about at this point in time? We're kind of concerned about the break-in having 3 threat on it. Rhino's on the edge of being knocked out. But we've got, so we're going to take an attack from him. It's going to be a big attack, but we can sidestep it. And we've got some pretty good defense. So I think we're okay there. We could set ourselves up for a really good defensive round if we play maximum velocity, because that's going to hold us out. Maybe that's what we should do, is get a maximum velocity going. So if we do that, all right, so if we, in order to play maximum velocity, we would need to use 2. So I could attack once and then use friction resistance to play it, but then I don't get the bonus for all the attacks that are going on. So I think we're going to use, ooh, but then I'm also going to get stunned as soon as Rhino flips, right? Actually, let's unflip ourselves. Let's go back one. Let's stay as Pietro for a second before we go into the next thing. And let's have Scarlet Witch attack. We're going to have Scarlet Witch attack. She's attacking for 1. She's going to get a boost of none. Okay, wow. That didn't do what I was hoping. So she attacks for 1. And that's going to knock her down to 2. I was hoping she'd get a huge boost and then we would potentially take Rhino out there. And then I would be alter ego and I wouldn't have to worry about the stun, but it didn't work out that way. Okay. So we're going to go back over to Quicksilver. All right, now I've got to figure out how to play this. Okay, so my Nerves of Steel can play my sidestep. I don't have to worry about that. I can, well, maybe yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to use double time and Nerves of Steel to play maximum velocity. All right, what that is going to do, it's going to give me +2/+2 thwart, attack, and defense until the end of round. So here, in order for me to remember that, let's do this. Okay. And that's not till the end of phase, it's till the end of round. So it's going to go all the way through the villain phase. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to exhaust to thwart, and we thwart for 1, 2, 3, 4 at this point in time on the break-in. So we're going to knock everything off of the break-in. We're going to use our Quicksilver power to ready ourselves up, which means that friction resistance readies up. Then we're going to go ahead and we will attack Rhino for 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be enough to flip Rhino. So Rhino's going to go from Rhino 1 to Rhino 2. Oh, and I forgot. I was thinking Rhino 3 is the one that stuns, but it's not. It's the one that breaking and taking comes into play. Oh, okay. This is probably a bad choice. I forgot we were playing Rhino 1. I was used to playing Rhino Expert. Oh, man. That's what I get for not paying attention. It's going to come in with 3 on it. Oh, had I planned that, I would have probably, had I been thinking, I would have probably taken out the breaking and taken. But too late for that at this point. I hosed that one up. All right. We're going to be done at that point. And we attacked, so we're exhausted. We're going to be done, so we're going to unexhaust all of our stuff. We're going to draw back up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's those always be running. Okay. Villain's turn. Oh, he's also at 15 hit points. Sheesh. Boy, this is going to be a long recording. There's just a lot going on with Quicksilver here. This is basic Rhino. All right. Rhino's turn. We're going to put 1 thread on the main scheme. 1 thread on the main scheme. Rhino is going to come to attack Quicksilver. Quicksilver is going to defend. So I still got my +2 for my maximum velocity. So I'm defending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm defending for 5 right now. And he's attacking for 6. All right, so he's attacking for 6. He's going to get a boost card. Boost card is none, and it's the other advance, which is a good one to get rid of. So he's up to 6. I'm going to use my Nerves of Steel to play Sidestep, which says when you take any amount of damage, because I'm taking 1 at this point, it says prevent 3 of that damage. If you paid for this card using a energy resource, deal 1 to an enemy, and I did pay for it using an energy resource, so I deal 1. So Rhino's down to 14. Okay. Charge goes away. Because I exhausted to defend, I get back up. And then we need encounter cards, which are 2 because I wasn't thinking with the breaking and taking. All right. Counter card number 1. Hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4. If no damage was healed this way, then this card gains surge. Don't have to worry about it because he is going to heal 1. So that 1 damage came in immensely useful. All right. Card number 2 is tough. Oh, we're going to give him a tough status card. All right, so that didn't turn out too bad. My screw up there, I think I'm getting out of it. So that's good. Could have gotten out of it better, but we're going to get out of it anyway. All right, so that's the end of the villain phase, which is the end of the round. So my bonus goes away. All right, we're back to the hero turn. Okay, so I would like to do a lot more damage, but I don't think that I can do the damage that I would like to do at this point in time. All right, so what can we do on this round? So I think primary concern is getting rid of the breaking and taken. So we're going to exhaust. When we do that, we thwart for 1, 2 there. Off the breaking and taken, and we ready up. All right, so we've used our free ready for the turn. So next up, we exhaust. Do we do it again? Yeah, we're gonna exhaust again, which is gonna and we'll thwart to get rid of the breaking and taken. We'll get that out of there. Now, here's the tough piece of all of this. How do I handle the next part? I think what I'm going to do, because I can get a maximum velocity back in there, and I can really stack my hand up to, I should get a maximum velocity and some always be run-ins. So I think I'm going to exhaust friction resistance to generate a physical resource. I'm going to use a physical resource to play always be running, which is going to ready Quicksilver. After I ready Quicksilver, I get to ready this card. Okay. Quicksilver's readied. At this point, I'm going to attack and get rid of the tough. All right, then I'm going to flip over to Maximoff. I'm going to use my Serval Industries to put 2 cards back into the deck, which I think is going to be a maximum velocity and an always be running. I think that's what we're going to go with. Put those back into the deck. Shuffle them up. And then we're going to be done. So we're going to remove our tokens here. We're going to draw back up to 6. So 1, 2, that's 4, 5, 6. That's totally not what I thought I would draw. That's not how that was supposed to work. Okay. Villain's turn. We're going to go to villain phase. We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. Rhino is going to scheme for 1. He's going to get a boost of 2. So he's going to scheme for 3, which puts him at 5. Okay, that's concerning. We're going to draw 1 encounter card. Counter card is tough. Oh, he gets his tough back. Just got rid of that. Damn it. All right. Oh, he's ruining my plans. All right. That's the end of the villain's turn. We're back over to the hero turn. Okay, so I had a plan, and he messed it up. So, what do we go after here? I need to get rid of the threat on the main scheme. I need to get rid of the tough. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll go back to Quicksilver. Oh, do I want to do... Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Let's use our Serval Industries before we go back to Quicksilver. We'll put a double time back in there. Oh, do I want to do that? No. How many cards do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, let's not do that. We won't use Serval Industries. My thought here is I want to get some always be run-ins and my card that gives me boosts in order to do like a good round. But if I stack it again, then I'm going to have a problem and not be able to do that. So I think we will not do that. We're not going to use our Serval Industries. Okay. I could discard 2 to draw 3. And if I do that, I might get the things that I need. That's an interesting thought. The problem is we've got a toughness out there, and I would kind of like to set myself up to not have to worry about the toughness and then have that good round. Which way to go? Which way to go here? I think maybe another build round is the right way to go. All right, so we're not going to go there this round. We're going to go to Quicksilver. All right, let's do we're going to use our energy to play double time. And we're going to deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 3 threat from a scheme, or 2 threat from a scheme. So we're going to take 2 off of here. We'll knock it down to 3. And then we'll deal 2 damage to an enemy, which is going to go around the tough, somewhat unfortunately. Or no, it goes around the stun. It will not go around the tough. Sorry. Doesn't go around the tough. It does 2 damage to an enemy. which is going to take away the tough. That's what I wanted to do. Because the tough is next time you would take any amount of damage, that's still dealing damage, so it takes away the tough. All right. Next up, we're going to use 1 energy from our friction resistance to put adrenaline rush into play. Trying to get ready. We're getting ready here. And then we will exhaust to thwart for 2. Take 2 off of here. And we ready up. When we ready up, friction resistance comes off. And then we will exhaust to attack for 2. All right. Then I think we're done. Do we want to play the sidestep now? Oh, we'll be done. All right, actually, I think I'm going to discard the sidestep. I'm going to draw 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Villain's turn. What's going to happen on the villain's turn? We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. Next up, Rhino is going to look to attack Quicksilver, and we're going to defend. So Quicksilver is defending for 1, 2, 3 right now. Rhino's attacking for 3. We're going to get attacked for 4, so we take 1 damage. All right. Next up, we get an encounter card. Counter card is going to be Stampede. Rhino attacks you. If the character is damaged by this attack, the character is stunned. So I'm actually going to do is have Scarlet Witch step in front of that. So Scarlet Witch is going to take +2. So she's taken 3, 4, 5. Scarlet Witch is out of there. All right, we're back over to the hero's turn. All right, so I think I'm in a place where we can potentially do lots of damage. Oh, I defended and I readied. Okay. I think I'm in a place where we can do lots of damage. So let's see if this works out right. And maybe we can do that. We should be able to do that 13 damage that we need to do. We'll see. All right, so first thing is we're going to use our adrenaline rush to give us +1 attack. So this is +1 on the attack track. All right. Then we're going to exhaust our friction resistance and use our armored vest to play maximum velocity. All right, that's going to give us +2 on all tracks. All right. All right. So at that point in time, we're going to attack with Quicksilver. So Quicksilver is going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to exhaust to attack for Quicksilver for 5. When I exhaust, I get to ready this card, and I get to ready Quicksilver. Oh, sorry. I get to ready Quicksilver, and then I get to ready that card. All right. Then we will attack again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. All right. We will exhaust friction resistance to generate a physical resource to play Always Be Running, which readies Quicksilver. After you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. Quicksilver is going to attack for 5. So now Rhino's at -2. Let's see how far we go. So Rhino's at -2 now. We just attacked. All right, so now we exhaust friction resistance to generate a physical resource to play Always Be Running, which says hero action, ready Quicksilver. So we will ready Quicksilver. When we ready Quicksilver, we ready this card. Quicksilver is going to attack again for 5. All right, then we will use our friction resistance to generate a physical resource to play Always Be Running to ready Quicksilver. When Quicksilver readies, he readies this card. Quicksilver attacks again, and we hit again for 5. All right.
So yeah, we took him down to minus 12 that round. So that's what I think happens when Quicksilver goes off. That is fairly insane. So lots of build time there to get there. But when Quicksilver does his thing, it's like crazy amounts of damage. So wow. That's not how I usually play, like with a build like that, but I can see where it is impressive once it goes off. So, um, let me know what I missed in there, because this is a pretty complex hero with lots of cards out there. There's probably other times you may have used Serval Industries or flipped and did things differently than me. Would be kind of interested to know, like, on what rounds you would have played a little bit differently than how I played it out. I did miss a couple of things there, I'm pretty sure, but that's another one of those heroes where there's a lot going on. I'm not a big fan of Miss Marvel because there's a lot of manipulation with the deck that goes on there. I think you have to play her a bunch in order to understand how to play her well. I think she's probably an amazing hero, but it's there's a pretty good cognitive load in order to play Miss Marvel. Quicksilver, I think, is in that not as much cognitive load as Miss Marvel, but he's got a lot going on there. And it's kind of cool being able to shove the cards back into the deck. You can really set yourself up for a good round as you get your deck thinned out just to the bottom of your deck there. You don't necessarily have to get all your cards into play. You can really get your last couple of turns to be some pretty fantastic turns there. So I'm liking it. It's just a lot to think about right now. It's probably one of those things where after you've played him, and if you play him consistently, all this stuff becomes second nature. But just these first go throughs are, it takes a little bit of thinking. So there we go. All right. Again, comments, let me know what I missed, if I missed something, or if there's some rounds there you would have played differently because it would have made more sense. Because it's my first time playing Quicksilver, so tips on playing Quicksilver would be appreciated. That's it for now. And as always, thanks for watching.